morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Daily Dose. Let's get right to it. I think we have good questions this week because we had good conversation. First, special thanks to my cousin Katie for joining us yesterday for a super interesting conversation. Just really, really lovely. So thank you, Katie. All right. Going back to Monday, Dr. Mary's discussion of the fourth C from the book Limitless. The fourth C is control. Control provides autonomy over our lives and allows us to manage ourselves, also known as self-control. What would you choose? A title, power, or money? Or control over your work and life, and why? I'm going to say this. I choose all of the above. Because I think you can. If I am CEO, if I am founder and CEO of Dana Del Val, which believe me, I am, both as myself and as an entity, and I can make money, and I can control my schedule, and I can have the power of being a woman-founded, woman-owned, woman-run business, why would I say no to any of that?
Well, that's slightly different than being a clog in a wheel.
A cog.
A cog in a big old load of cogs.
Yes, but I've never been a cog in a wheel.
Or a clog, depending if you're in Holland.
Yes.
Or the Netherlands, I should say.
Or on the Medora stage. I have never been a cog in a wheel. Have you?
I am.
All right, how do you feel about that?
Well, you know, as it stays.
I feel like you're much more comfortable with that than I am. And I don't mean that at all negatively, because here's what's real. We need way, 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 way more people who are comfortable being cogs than we need people who say, screw it, I'm going out on my own. We don't need 100 entrepreneurs for every one cog. We need 100 cog for every one entrepreneur, which is why our education system is set up the way that it is. It very, very deliberately says, get in line, fall in line. Which, you know, I don't know that in these 15 minutes we should disrupt capitalism, but it's certainly a long-held truth that is why our education system looks the way it does.
But you can also look at that question from another point of view. I mean, the idea of control over your life is something that an addict who's struggling with it is trying to get. So, and it was interesting in the study in the business world when they said, do you want more money or do you want more power, which would relate to more self-control over what you do? And the vast majority wanted the self-control over what they do. So there's a tenet in there of wanting to be able to be in control of your life, which is if you're an addict, you lose.
Yeah, think how much more control you have over every single facet of your life today.
Yeah.
Because you make decisions for yourself versus alcohol making decisions for you.
It's a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, the next question from Limitless. Where do we feel we lack control? When did you stop being able to choose for yourself? Where did your strengths take you down a path you no longer get to control? Can you step off that path if it's no longer serving you? So this kind of goes back to school. You talked about this, that we could blame high school teachers for this, which is a little bit unfair.
It's not really that you don't blame. It's not the teacher. It's the way high school teaches
Guns don't kill people. People do.
Well, bullets do. Guns just make them go really fast.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to pull the trigger, though. Anyway.
Where are we going? We're just talking silly now.
We are.
It's not that. It's the education system. They funnel information into you with very little room nor inclination to actually understand what you're regurgitating.
Or pursue it deeper if you love it.
And that's the problem. When you get to that stage where, all right, everyone, think about going to college. You don't have the chance to sit back and... I mean, your brain... your actual frontal cortex isn't fully developed. And they say it's not done till you're 25, which is one of the reasons why I think our couples counsellor told me I was in a reasonably good position as a late on-stage addict, because my frontal cortex, which gets rewired as you're an addict, had something to go back to. If you start getting addicted to something as a teenager, it's a lot harder to break that cycle. And it's the same deal was you can't really control yourself because you haven't really determined who you are yet.
Well, stepping out of the addiction world and into something that lots of other people have experienced. Think about me becoming a young mom before my frontal cortex was fully evolved. So, I mean, gosh, it sort of explains some things about my first couple of years of parenting when I think of it that way. But it also means that the same way someone who's recovering from addiction that started very, very young has no adult self to go back to. We always talked about the fact that I never knew what life as an adult without children was, because I was 22 basically when Quinn was born. So I didn't have those years of dating casually, traveling with friends or with a partner, making an income, buying my first little house, all those kinds of things. I didn't have any of those experiences. So I never felt that chafing that a lot of people feel who wait until they're in their 30s to have children, because I didn't know what I was missing. I can tell you that becoming an empty nester at 42, I love what we have now, because in addition to time, we also have money and experience, and that's really lovely.
It was weird though when Quinn went. Well, actually, because he went to governor's school too, so we had a sneak peek.
He had lots of summer gigs where he was away.
We had a sneak peek when he was 16 about what it'd be like, and then the year after he went to the National Research Council's
National Youth Science Camp.
Up in Virginia. So
down in West Virginia, but geography is not Dr. Mary's strength. Anyway, let's move on.
It was somewhere to the east of us
and south. Let's move on. From the book, The Gift. Mostly we suffer from something we have and don't want, or we want something we don't have. Grief is more often about what we didn't have than what we did. Where is this true in your life? I love that. And you know what I think really, I think it speaks to the fact that we often focus on the smaller negative than the larger positive. And my best example of that is in 10 years of teaching. So 44 students a semester, 88 students a year, in theory, almost 900 students in 10 years. When you ask me to think about my student evaluations, I can tell you about the 3 bad ones.
Yeah.
There were others that were kind of tepid, but many of them were very, very good. I only ever think about the 3 bad ones, and I can even tell you who I think the students were. Because I am reflecting on what I didn't have, not what I did have. I'm not stopping and thinking about the 885-ish students who had fair to good things to say about me, because I had that. And I think that that is often true of all of the things we, how often do you think to yourself, oh, I've got to lose 5 pounds? As opposed to, wow, I woke up today and I healthfully got out of bed, and yes, I might weigh a little bit more than I want to, but guess what? My body's moving me places, it's healthy, it's mobile, we don't think about that. We almost never recognize what we have.
Yeah.
We mostly focus on what we don't.
Some wise person, I don't know who, funnily enough, I don't know who actually said this, but
if we ever rename this show, we're just going to call it, I don't know who said that with Dr. Mary.
Yes. Someone said this first, so here it is. It's more painful to regret things you haven't done than things you have.
It's like that. Nobody gets to the end of their life and wishes they'd spent more time at the office.
Yeah.
I think it's about where can you focus on what you have to help lessen the grief of what you don't have, whether that's a lost person or a lost opportunity or lost health or lost whatever. It's so easy to fixate on what we don't have and lose sight of what we do. So spend some time this weekend focusing on what you do have. Doesn't mean you can't acknowledge the grief, but what do you have?
And by the way, we have talked about this before.
Have we?
We have. We talked about the historical significance of what actually happened during the Apollo 13 flight when Gene Kranz made that fantastic statement.
That's right. What was the statement?
He basically says he told everyone in mission control to shut up because all the alarms are going off. He goes, I want to know what have we got on this spaceship that still works.
We have? Yes, that's right. Well done.
You concentrate on that, everything else falls into place.
And you even know who said it.
Yeah. Yes.
Good thing we're sitting.
Ooh,
okay.
I'm going to go lie down for a minute or two after this now.
In the new normal of post-COVID vaccination, which is where we are moving, thank goodness, it could be easy to just fall back into our old normal from pre-COVID. How are you going to be intentional about creating your new normal? So, we've been in a new normal because of COVID, but now we've got to let go of that new normal and move into the next new normal, which in actuality is exactly what life is. So my new normal is I'm a parent. My next new normal is, oh my gosh, I have a teenager. My next new normal is I'm an empty nester. My next new normal, we're constantly moving to the next new normal because that's life. So how can you intentionally move into that?
Yeah.
Do you have thoughts on that? What will you keep from...
I was going to say one day at a time, actually, to be honest with you.
All right, but what can you keep from the new normal we have been in with COVID to go into the next new normal? What will you keep? Dr. Mary, this is a live program.
I'm thinking, Tony.
Okay. Anybody have anything that you will keep?
I don't know, just the fact that we just, every now and then we go for little walks together. We just do things.
Oh, every now and then. We do like 4 walks a day.
We do 4 walks a day. But it's nice. It's just nice to do things together.
I agree. That
it seems to me like we actually found ways to have good quality time together and then know when to go and work. So hopefully that we can continue to do that because that's been fun.
I agree. All right. In the interest of time, we're moving on. My cousin, Katie Bowman, challenged us to consider how to let go of the addiction of perfection. Where are you trying to be perfect? Can you let it go? And where can you use it as a strength? So I said yesterday, I don't struggle with that at all. Perfection wears me out to even think about it. And it's also just not at all interesting to me, personally. So it's not my struggle, but I can tell you this, there are other struggles that I have that are equally damaging, equally impossible to achieve. Where can you, if it's not perfection, what can you identify? And where can you let it go where it's not serving you? And then where can you use it as a service to your work? Because no quality is purely good or purely bad. They both have light and dark sides to them. So this second question, the last question sort of dovetails with that. Katie also talked about needing to perform at the highest capacity, even to our detriment. Can you find areas of you that are valuable, that are just okay as is? And that a little bit goes back to where can you focus on what you have versus what you don't have. I joke all the time about how little I care about math and science. Very, very occasionally, I have this lingering regret that not only do I not personally care about it, and my lack of perfectionism never made me say, what I should double down and buckle down and work on this. Nope. My lack of perfectionism said, I don't like this, I'm quitting. But not only did I have no desire in pushing myself, but nobody else pushed me either. Occasionally, I regret that. Occasionally, I think maybe there would have been value if someone had said to me, don't just dismiss this outright, work on it. Do you have qualities of your life that you can just say, I'm okay as is? Would you like me to give you some? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes. No. But, it's hard for me to say anything like that because I don't want to. One of the things I'm actually still worried about is suffering a lapse or a relapse. So I constantly feel like I should be vigilant about how comfortable I am around anything that's alcoholic. I mean, I really don't think I'm going to ever
anything alcohol related.
Alcohol related. I really don't think I'm ever going to start drinking again. But there is there's a worry that if I think everything's fine, that's where the danger is. So I wish I could be slightly more at ease and feel long-term comfortable, but I don't. But I think that's okay. Because that's going to help me always be aware of it. I mean, it's no real stress for me. It's just something I just can't let go of. So for that, it's not okay for me to get complacent.
So maybe the shift is, it's okay that you are not complacent.
But
As opposed to,
but
you
I'm
know,
fine with that because
Right.
that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very convoluted, and if you sit down and think about what I just said, you think, this guy could be crazy.
No, nobody's
But
thinking
it
that.
works for
Stop
me,
that.
so for me, that's just
Yeah.
going to be okay.
Well, and it works for almost every addict we've talked to.
Yeah.
Addict in recovery. So, those are the questions for the week. Tune in tomorrow morning. I'm going to do my own Dana Del Val live stream. I don't know, 9:30-ish on my own page. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. Perhaps some of this will make an appearance. Perhaps not. It's hard to say. I won't know till tomorrow. But have a great weekend. Continue to be vigilant. Just because our state and our city have dropped the mask mandate, we are not out of the woods in any
No.
size, shape, or form. And I'm not saying that as who cares what I think. I'm saying it as the CDC has not dropped it. Dr. Fauci has not dropped it. Don't get complacent now. Not now. We're so close.
You got to
Hold
move
on.
to, you know, people are saying we move in towards herd mentality, but that's
Towards herd mentality.
towards, there you go, which is 80% of the population, and that's a lot of people to be vaccinated. And then you've got to wait 2 weeks, so, you know, keep your mask on as much as you can. I mean, I think most grocery stores can still have the right to say you're not coming in.
Everybody can, but most places have dropped
So
it
keep
because
them
it's
with
been
you,
hard.
because
So-
grocery stores, I would assume, will want you to wear one, so always keep it with you.
Wear it for yourself and wear
Yeah.
it for everybody
Think about
else.
other people if you don't give a monkeys about yourself.
Have a great weekend.
See you later.
Bye.